your phones out. Yeah. Let's vibe New Orleans. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
What up guys, it's your boy Ali and welcome to Hip Hop Forever. Trinity Home aka Tink officially began to lay down vocals on tracks in her dad's basement studio at the age of 15. By the time she was 16 years old, Tink and her brother made a video of her rapping to Clips' song Grinding and posted it on Facebook. It immediately went viral, and soon after that, Tink began to develop a significant buzz locally. At this point, Tink was set on to take on the world, and she wasn't going to waste any time, releasing her very first mixtape in 2011 titled Winter's Diary. This mixtape came out when she was still in high school and would eventually go on to become a mixtape series. Now, one great thing that stands out about Tink is her versatility. You could guess but never know for sure what you were getting when Tink dropped a single. Was it going to be purely a rap tune or an R&B number, or perhaps a mixture of the two? One way or another, Tink always managed to deliver. In 2012, Tink was on fire when she dished out 2 mixtapes in the same year. She unleashed her second mixtape titled Alter Ego, and without pumping the brakes, she followed it up with another project titled Blunts and Ballads. These 2 mixtapes gave Tink more attention than she was currently enjoying, with the latter mixtape being a major display of Tink's R&B skills. At this point, Tink was out to get it, and consistency was her formula. And in 2013, the artist dropped a mixtape titled Boss Up. This strategy seemed to pay off for Tink. She started getting more features, and eventually started to take meetings with LA record label execs. But at the time, she didn't seem interested in pinning down a label deal, and had once said that she was fine being an independent artist. The singer and rapper had undeniable promise. However, when she signed to Timbaland's label, she got faced with a few obstacles. So the question is, what happened to Tink on Timbaland's label, and why didn't her debut album come out under Timbaland's guidance? Let's dig in.
Our motherfuckers get familiar. Right. Let me tell you something about this girl. She said,
That nigga on the left, he got money but he act cheap. And the nigga next to him is the one that got into it with the nigga in the black Jeep. Do you remember? Anyways, kicking with the nigga to the right, the bitch to the right, the nigga in the black Jeep. And like the level last year, the one that laughed like the bitch face down ass up like last week.
Now around 2014, Tink was clearly making a name for herself and released a follow-up to her Winter Diary series and titled this one Winter's Diary 2. It was an incredible piece of work. So incredible, in fact, that the mixtape made it all the way to Rolling Stone and was chosen as the 8th best R&B album of 2014. Not only that, the Winter's Diary mixtape also made it to the US Billboard, sitting pretty as the 9th best R&B album. At this point, a lot of people were paying attention to Tink, including and especially Timbaland, who later signed the artist to Mosley Music Group, an imprint of Epic Records. It honestly was just behind the scenes conversations that me and Tims had. Before we started making music, we sat down on the couch and talked for hours just about music. It wasn't about money, and it wasn't about how much I'm going to be worth. It was really just about how did you start singing, and who did you listen to as a kid. I could see the passion was there, and he wasn't in it just for the buck. He really was passionate about the music, and with artists today, you don't really find that with producers and artists. People are just looking for quick cash or a quick gimmick. After signing with Timbaland, Tink started getting collaborations left and right. Most notably, she collaborated with Sleigh Bells on a song called That Did It. Other notable collaborations include Don't Tell Nobody with Jeremiah,
I just text your phone like 30 sometimes in a row.
and Want It with Kalela.
Everybody's telling me yes. It'll be hard if we try to resist. Don't be afraid to get closer to me. Got everything that you wanted to see.
Around 2015, Tink was getting ready to release her debut album and dropped a single titled Ratchet Commandment.
I've been at this thing for years. It's done turned me to an animal. Some of y'all ratchet. I'ma write you hoes a manual.
When you're in the studio with Timbaland, you really bring your A game because he puts his all into his sound, just recreating himself. And that's why I feel like I need to go even harder. So everything that we've created so far, words can't describe. It's fresh. That's the perfect word. At this point, things look promising for the young rapper. Everybody was anticipating her debut project under Timbaland's guidance. Her buzz was at an all-time high. However, her debut album got pushed back indefinitely. Word has it that Timbaland himself wasn't happy with the project and didn't want the album to come out until he felt like it was perfect. The album was actually finished. There was an intro, I had interludes. It was Timbaland's call to hold back on it, and I think I want to say, for the benefit of the doubt, he did want to perfect it, but it was Tim's call not to put it out. The year dragged on, and Tink was yet to get a release date. Timbaland, who became more or less a stumbling block to her career, was in the news for a rather dramatic claim. Timbaland had made a statement claiming that Aaliyah had appeared to him in a dream and revealed to him that Tink was the one. I don't touch any of my sister's records. I don't touch my baby girl's records. You know that's Aaliyah. She spoke to me in my sleep and said, she's the one. No one knows for certain if Timbaland had a mysterious revelation or if it was just for the hype. But whatever it was, it worked. And Tink was now in the spotlight more than ever. As if to fuel the attention she was getting, Timbaland made Tink jump on a song sampling Aaliyah's 1 in a Million. And later that year, she released her own version titled Million. The song managed to develop a lot of buzz for the young artist and even made its way to the US R&B charts, peaking at number 38. Evidently, comparing Tink to Aaliyah was a gift and a curse. On one hand, it gave Tink more exposure and credibility. However, one thing I've come to notice about the music game is that fans don't like it when new artists compare themselves to artists that passed away. For example, when Lil Wayne said that he was the new Tupac, people weren't feeling it because there can never be another Pac, just like there can never be another Aaliyah.
I didn't want people to... People were taking the song as if, Timbaland was trying to recreate Aaliyah, or, as if I wanted to be the next Aaliyah, and I'm like, no.
Despite her album getting pushed back so much that it felt like an assault on her career, Tink kept pushing forward. She took advantage of her situation regardless of the setbacks, and put out records like Moving Bass featuring Jay-Z and Rick Ross. Now, in case you didn't know, there was a lot of controversy around the song Moving Bass. If you look online, you'll notice that there are two versions of Moving Bass. One version has Tink's verse on it, while the other does not. Initially, Ross bought the beat from Timbaland with the intention of putting it on his album Hood Billionaire. However, after hearing the song, Tink decided to make a version of her own. She laid her vocals to the track, and when the song was played publicly for the first time, it made a lot of noise. However, Rick Ross wasn't feeling it and preferred his own version of the song better, even though the public thought Tink's version was more superior. In the end, Tink's version of Moving Bass wasn't released officially because Rick Ross wasn't feeling Tink's version.
Really got on air and they dropped that shit.
Right. Well, because it was supposed to be on Ross's album?
Exactly.
It wasn't. And it never. I didn't know. See, I never knew it didn't come out. I just assumed that they just took you off and put out
it was a big deal.
the original version.
Ross was very upset. It was a big deal.
Right, because it's a Jay-Z verse.
Behind the scenes,
these aren't like just lying
but
around.
Jay had heard it. You know what I'm saying? That's what most people didn't even know. Jay had heard the record.
Oh, Jay heard your version.
He did.
And
he gave some approval. Like.
Oh, but it was Ross's song. His own albums.
I guess it was Ross's song, but Tim also felt it was his as well because he produced it. Yeah. So nobody's right, nobody's wrong, man. And at the end of the day, the song was dope. You feel me? Like, that's what I was mad about. I'm like, forget the bullshit. Like, the actual song, Moving Bass, Jay-Z, Ross, and Tink is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of whatever, I felt like had we resolved all the extra shit, the tension behind it, that song could have been a banger. Like,
Tink also went on to work with Andre 3000 at some point. Despite her album not coming out, Tink was still winning, and things came full circle for the young artist when she made XXL's freshman list in 2015, delivering a stellar and heartfelt freestyle.
Let's go. I normally wouldn't do this on a regular day, but since the time is of the essence, I'ma grace you with my presence. From the city where they sleep you like some NyQuil shut.
However, unable to release her album, she decided to release Winter's Diary 3 instead. One song in particular off the mixtape, titled I Like, is one of her most popular singles till date.
You understand me, and it's all I need.
Embattled by the travails of getting her album constantly pushed back, Tink tried to keep doing what she knew how to do best: make music. Of course, no one expected her to release as much music as she did. However, Tink did encounter one obstacle. Whenever Tink released a new single, people wondered whether the single would appear on her upcoming album or not. It became a situation where if she dropped singles, it just seemed like yet another teaser for the album. And many people, especially fans, were getting fed up. Undisturbed, Tink released a few singles and even dropped the mixtape Winter's Diary 4. The mixtape made it to number 20 on the 40 best rap albums of 2016, which premiered on Rolling Stone. Now by 2017, the chink in Tink's armor started to show. She started getting fed up with her label situation, with Timbaland, Epic Records, and quite frankly, all of it. She once said, "I couldn't fight Timbaland. I'm signed to him first." Nonetheless, Tink wanted out, and she wanted out bad. One of the most noticeable things she did that year was taking a 6-month break from social media and the public eye in general. Evidently, Tink was depressed and had explained that the delay in her album and ultimately her career caused her to doubt if she was in the right industry and on the path meant for her in life. After that, she distanced herself from Timbaland and revealed to DJ Vlad in an interview that she hadn't spoken to him in 3 months. Tink recounts saying, "I had dedicated so much time and we had put in a lot of work together, me and Timbaland. We had an album done, but the whole process was just very shocking to me. Going into something and having such high expectations for it, then having to refocus and reprocess everything. I had to really just dig deep and find out what I wanted to say next." Eventually, Epic Records and Mosley Music Group parted ways, giving Tink the opportunity to part ways with Mosley Music Group as well. After a series of meetings, Tink was able to secure the rights to her unreleased music and essentially got herself ejected from her contract. She was once again an independent artist. When interviewed on the subject much later, Tink revealed that Timbaland was indeed a perfectionist, but was also the sole reason her debut album didn't come out under his label. Timbaland, being the perfectionist that he is, didn't think Tink's project was ready, whereas Tink, on the other hand, felt like Timbaland was holding her back and in doing so, decreasing her buzz. Now around 2018, Tink's music catalog became available on digital streaming platforms. Fresh from her breakup with Timbaland and Mosley Music Group, she released her first ever EP in March 2018 titled Pain and Pleasure with the help of Machine Entertainment and Sony Red. Tink had always been an overachiever, and so it shouldn't be shocking to learn that the singer-rapper immediately followed up her EP with a mixtape titled Voicemails. She released this project under the imprint Empire. The mixtape was preceded by the single Bad Side.
Goddamn, I'm missing your phone calls, your body up under man when it's cold as the winter time.
After all this time, Tink was still without a debut album to her name, but that all changed on Valentine's Day 2020 when she dropped her very first album titled Hopeless Romantic. The project was released just before the corona pandemic peaked and pretty much made a little bit of noise. The long wait was finally over, and even though Tink had said that she missed out on a lot of opportunities in her career, she had finally done it. She finally got to release her debut album. The project, which made it to number 99 on the US charts, explores more of Tink's singing side, and I'm happy to report that she still got it. Tink gets about 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and her most popular songs on the platform are Million and Treat Me Like Somebody.
On a regular day, I'll be in the lab. I'll be writing. I'm writing, but I can't record, so it's different. Like, I can't get in the studio like I want to. I'm always working on new music. Y'all not starving. I just dropped Hopeless Romantic, though. But look, I got some real, man, the shit I've been writing, y'all know, the shit I've been writing is different.
That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. What happened to Tink in your opinion? Let me know down below. Also, if you have any video requests, be sure to let me know as well. New What Happened to video dropping next week. Also, follow me on Instagram. That's Hip Hop Forever, 3 R's. Till next time, peace.